It's that time again, everybody. What do I have today to test? Well, let's take a look. If you looked at the description of the video, then you already know what it is. But we're going to test out a Pioneer DEH-P5900IB. This particular CD player I got years ago. I bought this thing whenever it was brand new for 20 bucks. How? How did I buy that for 20 bucks, you ask? Well, I'm going to tell you. Guy brought it in, the place where I worked for a number of years, and the high-level outputs don't work. So I asked the guy, I says, hey, what are you going to do with it? He says, oh, I'm probably going to throw it away. I says, how about I give you 20 bucks? He says, deal. So the Rca Pre Outs, you've got front, rear, and sub pre out. You have, at least let me double check. I got to make sure. I'm almost positive that it's front, rear, and sub. There's no input on this. You have your antenna input down here. You've got your wiring harness, which is all jumbled mess over here. You've got your high-speed Pioneer cable right here. You also have another one down here, which I believe these were for the satellite radio option. And then you have your wired remote input. And I don't recall this thing having Bluetooth. I don't think Bluetooth was really a thing back then. I don't recall. But there's the back of it. Let's flip it around and take a look. I have the remote for it too. It's actually in a baggie that I ended up taping to the CD player so I wouldn't lose it. So I'm going to line this up here. I'm going to turn this light off. And we'll hook it up and take a look at it and see what's so special about this CD player. I always wanted this CD player. I've always wanted a lot of CD players growing up. But like most people, I couldn't necessarily afford them. This one was always dear to my heart, only for the fact of what it could do. So let's go ahead and I'll turn on my power supply down here. I'll hit source, and there we go. That right there is what I liked about it. That's what a lot of people liked about it, was that this particular CD player had animation to it. So this CD player every now and then has an issue with the base plate. Sometimes it will, like right there, it's the pin connection that's on the back here. A lot of these Pioneers also had that issue. I don't know if they've improved them since then. I'm not really a Pioneer guy. But I always wanted this CD player. There's also a Sony that was automated that had a color display on it that was really nice that I would like to have had. But I stay away from motorized faceplates. I'm just not a fan of those. So on here you've got your source button on the top left where you can scroll through. You've got your, let's see here, there's auxiliary, tuner, auxiliary 1. That's basically it because I don't have a CD in it and anything else hooked up. Down here you've got bands, so that's your FM1, FM2, AM, etc. This one, it has like the rocker dial on it where you can move it back and forth. These were also kind of problematic to a point too. These knobs, I've seen a lot of these with these knobs missing. So I don't know what happens to them, but yeah. So you got function. You can go in here and scroll through. You've got local on or off. And the menus on these Pioneers were always really in depth. And a lot of times for beginner people, they didn't know what a lot of these options did. So definitely had to have an owner's manual for it. So basically we'll go in here again. So there's audio. There's entertainment. We'll go through the audio real quick. So your fader would be done off of, let's say, fading to the rear. It'd be to the back. Then you'd hold the button up. That would go to the front. And then left or right for left or right. So balance. Is it 0? Here's different controls. I mean, it's just ridiculous what this thing can do. This one I'm actually going to probably use in my own personal vehicle. I've got an older muscle car that I'll probably put it in just because I've got young kids. My boys think that it's kind of neat to end up having the graphics and stuff on it as well. So different crossover slopes, subwoofer, you can put it in phase or out of phase. Loud, you got mid. I don't remember this one. There's high, off. So then we'll go in here again, and you got entertainment. This is what a lot of people liked. So you got your bubbles. Now this is after the Dolphin Pioneer CD player came out that everybody went crazy for. I remember that thing whenever it came out. Oh my God, there's dolphins on my screen. So cool. Back then. Nowadays, kids are like, yeah, dolphins, who cares? So, let me see. I'm going to put a CD in. I never have a CD handy whenever I do these videos, but I've got a CD player right underneath of it that I have a CD in. Actually, I take it back. I don't think I took my CD out of my other... Yeah, I didn't take it out of my other CD player. So anyways, but you would end up having the different screens on here. So there's entertainment. There's... Let me go back in here again. There's the bubbles again. I believe this would end up having like not an EQ, but like a graphic EQ on it. Here's these that end up moving. So back in the day, I mean, this was cutting edge. Nowadays, it's not even really that big of a deal. So, but very limited on buttons. If you notice, there's no presets or anything like that. Down along the bottom, you've got a list option, which will pull up your different preset radio stations. Your EQ button, you got powerful, natural, vocal, custom, flat, super bass, powerful, natural. Don't do there again. I don't remember. Subwoofer, display. The display, since I don't have anything in there and I don't have a radio station on that I can end up picking up, I believe that the display option is to show like the artist and track and stuff like that. You can pick over here. This will show the clock and then just the input that you've got it on. So there's tuner. So yeah, nice little CD player. Eventually get around to using it, but like I said, this is one of those problems that the face doesn't always want to work on it. But I think a lot of it's the pins that are back here probably need to be cleaned up. So anyway, there you go. Nice little throwback video. If you like the video, give me a thumbs up. If you don't like the video, give it a thumbs down. You know the rigmarole. I say it at the end of every video, so I'm going to try cutting back on that. But yeah, if you like it, let me know. If you have any questions or comments, drop me a message down at the bottom here. So down there. So have a good one, guys. Stay safe. Stay loud. Enjoy your music.